if you're watching the replay, make sure that you follow, and not just like that way when we go live or we have a new video, you will be notified. And also, don't forget that we have Sins Crafting. Not Sins Crafting Bin, but you can search in your search bar Sins Crafters. Crafters, that's it. Sins Crafters. And then just ask to join, and I'll go on there and accept you. You can post your new projects. Okay. Trying to pull you up on here, that way I can turn the comments off up there. Hello everybody. Hey Lynn from Florida. Hey Cynthia. Don't forget to say where you're from, that way I can get used to where you are. Like West Virginia. All right, I always have my East Coasters on here. I always have the East Coast taken care of. And then we, as we're on here a little bit longer. Hey, Helen from Georgia. Hey, Judy for South Carolina. And it's saying it's taking a second to, like it's thinking. I don't know why it's doing that. Probably because he already had it up on here. And I probably needed to go out and come back into Facebook, and it'll be a little bit fresher. Let's see if that helps me. Yeah, I don't know anything about a Mac. So let's see. Let's close it out and see if we can go back in. And I'll give everybody a chance to get on there. Hey, Sandra from Mississippi, Wyoming. All right, Arizona. Good, look at the West Coast representing. Just as many as the East Coast. All right. Kansas. All right. Come on, MacBook. And y'all, I got some little cute things that I'm fixing to break for our talk last night. I stopped by the Dollar Tree today. I ran in just to see if they had put anything else out, and they had not. I'm going to have to give that a little bit of time. For whatever reason, it's thinking and taking a long time tonight. But y'all, I ran in there, and I told you they're putting out all of their, like garden supplies. They actually had some pot and soil in there. They were little tiny bags, but if you wanted to just do a little bit for $1, sure, it's not like Miracle Grow or whatever, but it was, I was surprised. I don't think I've ever seen her. I've never paid attention. What craft are you doing today from Pennsylvania? All right, we are going to preserve a memory. And I've got all my stuff out here, and I'll show you what I have first. Chris's grandmother, who is still alive. We still go and see Mimi every day. She is still lives at home by herself. We do have to, Chris and Buffy go over there about 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon, sometimes longer, but that is their normal at least. But she has a cookbook where, a long time ago they didn't print out recipes. They hand wrote them. Well, his granddaddy passed away, I guess. I never met him, like about 8 months before we started dating in 93. And we were going through her recipe book one day, and she has what they call a transparent pie, which is one of Buffy's favorite pies. And we actually have the recipe in his grandfather's handwriting. And then his grandmother, Mimi, she has on here in her handwriting that it was Nana Mann's, because Mann is our last name, recipe, Fred's most favorite dessert. And Fred was his granddaddy that he called Granann. And Mimi is, who is still alive and who he goes and sees every day. So we're going to preserve this. I made a copy of it. So, and I did it in the color that it is. This is, y'all, I did not age this. It is, let's see, Mimi she will be 98 April, 2 months from now. She will be 98. And I would have to quote, if Miss Carol or Pop are on here, I'm pretty sure they were the same age. and born in the same month. When Chris comes in here, I'll make sure, because his birthday's in April, as is hers. What is transparent pie? It is, it's a blueberry pie that is, do you know how when you make a pecan pie, and if you didn't have the pecans in it, that kind of like really sugary, the thickness of the pie itself, like the most unhealthy part, but the ooey gooey best part of it. It's kind of like that, except it has a blueberry flavor, because in transparent pie, you put actually sugar-free blueberry jelly. And you can buy sugar-free blueberry jelly, but you put your own sugar in it. It's extremely sweet, but Mimi would make it every now and again, because Chris has an uncle that passed away, Cam, and it was one of his favorite recipes too. So once, at a holiday, she brought her transparent pie, and Buffy loved it. Now, according to this recipe, it actually makes 2 pies. But it is sugary, oogery goodness. But it's nothing healthy for you. But hey, Lenore. Hey, Ren. Nebraska. But the main thing, we love the recipe, and Buffy has it for herself. But the main thing I want to do is not only preserve the recipe, but preserve the fact that it's written in his handwriting also. Now, I have another project that we probably won't get to. Maybe I'll do it later on. Is my Chris's favorite recipe of his grandmother's is her custard. She makes it. I almost wish I could put this recipe on some kind of big jar, because she would get a big jar and fill the custard up. And my husband doesn't put it on his angel food cake or anything. He drinks it straight out the jar like it's just heavy cream. He loves it. So I almost wish that I could preserve this on some kind of big jar, because actually that's what she always gave it to him in. And she can't make it anymore. She probably would say she could, but a lot of it probably just comes from, when you make custard, how you treat it, cooking on your stove, things like that. But I actually have the recipe, and it's in her handwriting. So I really want to preserve that too. Because I think that's a good way to not only keep a good family recipe, but I think it's the coolest thing that it's in their handwriting. So if you have any relatives that they make some kind of, anything that you like, you can get them to write it in their handwriting. That way you can keep it and preserve it. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Sue from Virginia. So we're not going to get to that yet, Mimi's, but what I did was I wanted it to be, this is not like a Valentine's Day. This is something I would want to keep on my wall in my home, so it's not going to have hearts or anything on it. It's just kind of like an everyday craft. So I wanted to find something to put this on that was kind of represents what it is. It is something that you make in the kitchen, but as small as it is, I knew that whatever I put it on would probably also need a background. I started thinking about a frame, but today I went to Walmart, and I think I don't know if this is some kind of new brand they're carrying. It's called Nordic Wear, but not only is it really heavy, good bakeware, it's thick, but it kind of has like that old school look. You know what I mean? Almost, what is that? Like almost a brushed aluminum. It says natural aluminum, so I'm not gonna ever bake with it, but I love this size too. And I took this into the store with me, and when I cut it, it just looked like it was gonna be the perfect thing to put this on. Now, this is really small, and I don't want to just put this on my wall, and I'm gonna make this kind of look old. We're gonna do some rust techniques to it. But this is the background I found when I went into my supplies that I liked. Now, you'll have to go back and watch my video, and it's before Christmas in December, where we made the farmhouse or barnyard door tree skirt, like a tree collar, I think is what they were calling it, like the original name. But we made these out of poster board. And we cut pieces, and like I said, you would just have to go back. It was a white poster board. We put pieces here, and I tell you in the video how to measure it. And we did do the cross beams on them, but I left one of them where I didn't do that in case I wanted to put something in the center. Well, I put it on my tree and I really like it, but I needed something probably about 4 inches different. So I made me another one that was 4 inches bigger. I think this one was 20 by 20, and I made a 24 by 20 square. 24 by 24 square. So I have 4 of these pieces, but the other 3 have the cross beam, and I really didn't want the cross beam. I wanted this to actually sit in the center. So on the wall, it's gonna look like it's either a barnyard door or an old shutter. Because remember, this is just poster board. We just did this painting technique on it. So this is pretty much prepared the way I want it to be. So I'm going to put this to the side, and we're going to kind of prep this a little bit, and then we're going to decoupage this right in our middle of our pan. But I want the pan to be not so quite shiny. You know what I mean? It's going to have this old piece of paper in it. Well, not old piece because I just made the copy, but you know, an older piece of paper. So I kind of want this to be more up to date on what it is. But yeah, foam board, Lynn. And I got the foam board from the Dollar Tree, but you can get foam board at any school supply store, crafting store, anything. And you can make it to your measurement. But like I said, if you want like a step-by-step on how we made that, you're going to have to go back and look at the other video, because I actually put the measurements in there, told you how to adjust the measurements to whatever project you're making. And the different painting techniques that we put on it. Because all I did here was just put a white, like it was once white, and it's like the paint is chipped off of it. And I actually you can repaint these. I mean, it's just paper or just like wood. You could repaint it, but I just really liked that. And I think that brown on it's going to go really good with the rust technique we're going to put on here. Hey, Buffy, will you go tell your daddy that the laptop isn't functioning correctly, please? Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. I just like to be able to turn off this. Okay, Walmart, are y'all asking questions? See, I've gotten so used to now getting the questions down here, I'm missing them because on the phone it only shows 2 or 3 of them. Rice pudding recipe. Yes, Lenore. I mean, I really thought of this like for, I mean, this would be great gifts for aunts and uncles or people that don't live close to you anymore, nieces or nephews, because I really think that like Chris's parents would love to have this, his aunt would love to have it, and there's a running joke about this recipe with Chris's aunt, Jeanette. She wanted to make this pie for her husband, which is Chris's uncle who has passed away, because it was his favorite too. And she called Mimi on the telephone. At that time, you didn't have computers. It was a long time ago. And she asked him, asked Mimi to send her the recipe. Well, Mimi accidentally put, like, I think salt, for, you know, on the 2 cups of sugar or something. No, that was what she did to us. And so when Jeanette made this pie, it was like awful, you know, it didn't taste like it was supposed to. So she always says it's because Mimi didn't want to give her the real recipe, even though it was just a mistake. So when Buffy decided this was her favorite pie, Mimi came out to Chris's parents' house, and we had like a little cooking party where she showed us how to make them. Well, in the middle of this transparent pie, I think it tells you need nearly a cup of butter, which, you know, what is that, like 1 stick? Whatever she did, she doubled the butter. Oh, thank you. It just kept thinking like I couldn't get on it. Okay, let me turn the comments on. Well, it doubled the butter, so when we started cooking it, butter was bubbling all over it and getting everywhere. Thank you. Yes, I see it. And so now it's like a really big joke that she didn't want anybody to have this recipe, so she sabotages you when she gives you the recipe. But it's just a joke. She really didn't. But, you know, it did happen. the same way. Thank you. But I heard y'all say something about Walmart. Did somebody ask where I got? Did she say where she got the little pan? Yes, Walmart. And like I said, it's this brand, Nordic Ware. And they had several things. They had the cutest little donut pan. I guess you put your the donut batter in it and you can bake the donuts instead of frying. I really wish I had some kind of project. They were really cute, and it's kind of like they look, you know, really old school, but I mean, they seem to be really good weighted, like they would be really cute. It probably was a little bit more. I think this was maybe like $5 or $6, what you would do with a project. You know, normally I like $1, but for something that I'm gonna keep up all year round, I really thought it was cute, and I wanted to have something that, you know, was, you know, better quality. So yes, I did get it at Walmart, but you never know. Just Google this Nordic Ware, and the size of the pan is it says it's a size for 1 to 2 portions, and the exterior dimensions are 10 inches by almost 7 inches, 6.93 inches. But it doesn't, mini sheet is what it says. So you probably can just Google that and either get it off Walmart.com, or they may just sell you the products. I really kind of want to go on there and look, because the only ones I saw were really big pans, a round pizza pan, this little pan, and one that was like to bake donuts. But they were really cute. They were all this, you know, they just kind of looked old school. I should do this with my rice. Hey, my tater salad. Yes. Shelly, if your tater salad's good and everybody loves it, yes. I mean, not only do the recipes, you know, have it in your handwriting and, you know, have the instructions. So a lot of people do post or use recipes as decoration, but usually only the ingredients. But, you know, having like how to make it and the little thing, you know, little notes on the side that says it tends to stick, but if you just do this, it helps it. Things like that, I think, are really neat. And having it in their handwriting is beyond cool, especially if I made it for my girls. Donut pan makes really nice mini bundt cakes. Oh, see? Hey, Sue from Georgia. Sue, where are you from in Georgia? All right, so we're going to get this to looking older. And first, I'm going to put this color on it. But any kind of turquoise blue that gives it kind of that like old, like little patina if it comes through, it's not bad. I'm not going to worry about any of the stuff in the center, because you can see this is pretty much going to cover the whole thing. I may just do like down in the grooves, but I'm not going to worry about the center. I am going to paint some of the, hold on, I got too much water on my brush. I am going to paint, probably not worry about the back because I'm going to put that on, but I am going to do these edges because when I hang it on the wall close to my kitchen, you could walk by it and see it from the side. I know sometimes we always don't want to paint the parts we think we won't see, but if there's even a chance that you may see a part, I would go ahead and paint it. Especially if it's this shiny and we're trying to kind of make it look a little on the old side. But I thought this pan was just adorable. And y'all will be so proud of me. I finished my table, my Valentine's table, and I recorded a lot of little segments with me filming it. So now I just have to work on my editing skills, and it's going to be the first video I do for y'all that you don't have to watch alive, because it's like it was building this little box that I had to use a nail gun and cut, and you know I couldn't bring all this stuff inside. And plus, I was scared I'd do something that wasn't safety regulated and get in trouble. Oh gosh, Indiana. Haven't heard that one in a while. Yeah, my brother has been asking for my tater salad recipe. All right, okay, where is Blackshear, Georgia? That kind of sounds like something that would be up north. Okay. All right. I would worry about drying it, but because we're going to distress it and stuff, I don't care. It's a clean board, but I'm just going to put it straight down. Gosh, that made a lot of noise. Okay. And you know what? I forgot to grab my E6000, which I guess it's metal on paper. That's not so bad. If it was metal on metal that I'm going to glue, I would tell you to definitely get a little bit of E6000 for that permanent bond. But this is going to be fairly light, and putting it on paper, it's not going to be so bad. If it slid off later on or something, but I think it's going to be okay. Let's see about the end. South of Atlanta. Okay, so you're on our side of Atlanta. Sprinkle for Phoenix, Arizona. All right. Hello from Iowa. Looks like a fun project. It really is. It was like fun copying it. I really want to do, and one of the first videos I watched, like last year when, you know, you were first home with COVID, somebody did kind of this project, not this one, but they put a recipe on a rolling pin, which I thought was really cool. And I'd love to get like some kind of wine rack and get several recipes, like maybe, you know, all 5. I have 4 sisters. If we had a recipe or something and maybe we all could put a recipe on them, things like that, put it together, it'd be really cool. But I just hadn't gotten what I would even want to do yet. Sue, I'm just below Augusta, about 20 minutes south of Augusta, on the border between, Georgia and South Carolina, like right under it. Where did you get the pan? Diana, I got it from Walmart. It's called Nordic Ware. And, but like I told them, you probably can go on the internet and order it, you know, not from there. Because, I mean, sometimes if I find something that I like, as long as I know the name of it, I mean, sometimes you can go on Amazon and find that particular brand. You might pay a little bit more for it. You can probably go on Walmart.com, but it's called the Mini Sheet. All right, so let's see. And this chalk thing is probably going to dry pretty fast on this. Everything's fine on this aluminum. Major malfunction. What do you call that? Buffy said, danger, danger. I pulled on it. It's my fault. Yeah. Buffy loves it when I say something is my fault. Did I get it on me? I didn't put my, look, it just happened on there. We're okay. Look, let me see us putting it back together.
Right.
Yeah, I just pulled on that cord.
Well, I saw the whole thing happen, but...
Well, here, unplug the phone cord because the phone is charged. Like right here. My husband is in Augusta a few months ago. He brought our daughter in 2009. Moreno from there. What is a Moreno? Is that a type of car? Don't blow the breaker. No, I actually have it on the cord, but let me put it back down. Do you think are the legs spread out like they're supposed to be on there?
Yeah.
Let me move up. Okay. The thing went flying.
Is this facing?
Yeah, it's facing me. She said, "Don't blow the breaker again." No, I'm just gonna knock everything on my. Yeah, I'll just set this to the side. But I really am probably gonna need to use it again. Okay. All right, I need my black. All right, and I'm gonna put my cinnamon on it. But y'all, when I was picking up some new cinnamon today, just at the Dollar Tree, and you can treat this just like you do your glitter. You can, put it back in here. Round it up, put it back in here. But right beside it, it was ground cloves. And even though when you do this to make it look like rust, It smells so good. I found some ground cloves, this big container at the Dollar Tree. $1. Nissan Murano. Okay, like a car. So, and I did this so I could smell it, so I don't think somebody. No. I was saying that's the kind of car it was, Nissan. But, and you know, actually, when you look at this color isn't it a little bit darker? This tends to have a little bit more red in it. So I'm going to try maybe to mix them up, you know, different levels of rust. Because they both smell, this just kind of makes you think, is fall clothes? SUV. Love to smell cloves. I love cloves, but not too strong. I don't think I could really take a candle of it, but remember when you used to do like little projects where you put the little whole cloves in an orange or you boil it on the stove, I can probably take that. But like a candle, like constantly, I think that would be a little too much for me. All right, so we're gonna put a little bit of this black, and this is just, it's ink, but that's what the color is for what they call the black in the Waverly chalk paint. I'm gonna get a smaller brush. Cinnamon might make you sneeze. Remember when everybody was doing that cinnamon challenge and they were putting those spoonfuls of cinnamon and losing their breath and having to go to the emergency room? I mean, I was like, what were they thinking? Okay. Rust usually happens in the corners, you know, of your pans or anything. So we'll put just a little bit of this, the cloves, and a little bit of regular cinnamon. The cloves look like it came on there a little bit better. And I'm just using the paint as my glue. And then it has a darker background on it too. But I guess you could use a really dark brown. All right, so see, the page is gonna cover it up, and I guess I could round these corners, but see, the page is gonna cover that up. So it doesn't have to be perfect here. It really doesn't have to be perfect anywhere, because just like rust or streaks that you put on anything, it's, you know, you just kind of do it, you know, in streaks or in puddles. Yeah, I mean, rust is really usually caused by water, moisture. So, I mean, if you want to kind of really be specific, you just, yeah, this seems to, I like this a little bit better. It looks like it's got like tiny, tiny little pieces of the stem in the clove part. Yeah, and it's not as dark. No, it's not as red as the other. All right, so there we go. Oh my gosh, y'all, and I wish you could smell how wonderful it smells. All right, so we'll put like a little piece right here, and I'll, like glitter, I'm just gonna, you probably could put it in a bowl and maybe dip it. Nope. But it smells really, really good. All right, let me turn the words off. All right. Thank you, Kathy, for sprinkling. They were not bright. They were not too bright. Yeah, I mean, remember they were like going to the hospital because it like took your breath, and some people just would pass out because they couldn't catch their breath. All right, let's see if y'all can see this. And maybe I haven't adjusted the little legs on that thing in a while, and maybe they've kind of pushed together a little bit. All right, so we got a little bit on the side right here. And I also got like this little hazelnut color, which is just kind of like a brown color. It'd help cover up some of that color if you wanted it, if you didn't want to use the black. I'm really liking y'all this clove color just a little bit better. I mean, I know rust is pretty red, but I bet you if you did this to like something that you had to have red on, that the cloves would be prettier. Because it's like you have different levels. See how it's got that kind of little multi-tone in there? I'm really liking that. All right, so we did like kind of a lot in those. We'll just do maybe just a, like it's got just a little bit in this corner, not too much. Oh gosh, that's too much. Now remember to put this in your craft supply because, you know, like I touched your paint. I don't think this paint doesn't say it's toxic, but I wouldn't suggest you eat it either. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put a little bit, like a little mark right there. Watch out for that big door. Okay. So, I mean, I know it seems kind of weird to look at without that in it. So, let me round the corners. I'm going to round them on just a little bit. You know what I really could probably do? Is tear this a little bit. So, it really looks like an old piece of paper. I'm going to try that. All right, be real careful. I'm not worried about wrinkling it or anything because when I put the decoupage down, oh, now I think that's going to be really cool. I don't think that's anything we need at the top. Now that kind of tore a little bit more than I wanted it to. Maybe we can, I might have to Spring, I'm going to do this with my mom's recipe and give them to my family. I know, isn't it just like it would be a great, you know, present to, you know, nieces and nephews and I know Chris's parents would love this, you know, especially this is dad. This is dad's favorite. But his cousins would love this too, Chip and Charlie, because it was one of their dads, Chris's uncle. Their dad's favorite recipe too. I may have to cut some more of my stuff. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna decoupage. You won't see the white because I'm gonna stain that a little bit back, the color of the paper, but I love that. I mean, and he would have been 98 too. So, I mean, to, you know, make it look older is, you know, kind of for the time period. And I'm sure this was written well probably before, let's see, if she's, I'm trying to think of when they got married. And if she, I mean, well, you got to think, probably 50s or 60, 70 years old, just this, you know, piece of paper. And what it is it was written in the very first page of a recipe book that didn't have anything on it, and it was just a blank page. So that's the page he used to write the recipe. So yeah, I think it would be awesome. And I want to say there was, going through her old cookbook, there were recipes from other people. I don't know if they were other family members or they could be in our little small town, you know, where some other family may want the recipe in their relatives. It had hold on. Okay, it closed. Seeing the bottle. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, it's ground closed. I found it, and it's a large bottle at the Dollar Tree, just back in their spices rack. They had the ground cinnamon, was just in a regular one, and it smells wonderful, and it's a little bit browner than the let's see. I want to see if I want to put some more rust now that it's a little bit smaller. I think I want to put a little bit more just right here because I don't want that little tag to come through. So give me just a second. Wet your fingers and add some rust to the edge of your paper. Ooh. All right, I'm going to get it on here, and while it's wet with the decoupage, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I just wanted to cover up that little edge of that's going to show. Yeah, because if I do it now, it may come off. So let's put it on there first, and then we'll do it. Oh, y'all, I'm just loving that. Okay, get all this stuff out the way now because I don't need it. But this hazel, y'all, is just probably another color hazelnut. And I've had this, and I don't even know if I've opened it. But I was looking in my paint, and I think it would give you probably another good color of brown. Like, you know, in your rust, the background. We put black on the background here just to make it pop. But, now we're going to bring some of this metal back through. Now remember, once you kind of hit this with a sanding thing, it brings to me the chalkiness of the paint out. Just a little. And this is just my antiquing. And I'm just dulling down some of the silver that I brought through down at the bottom so it's not so shiny new. I just put a little bit on it so it just dulls it down a little bit. And I'm just rubbing it with my fingers. You know, I love this. A lot of people do it with their brushes or a sponge. I just like to be able to feel where I'm putting it on it. You know, when I hit the edge or things like that. Edna sprinkled. Hello, Lynn. Hello, hello, Kay. Hello. I like it when friends can see friends on here. Okay. And let me do it a little bit right here. Yeah, we went and got this new thing just to make it look all old. But it was just so cute. I mean, and it does a little open face at it. So it's the corners are more rounded right here. I don't know if you can see where it's not so sharp. So it almost looks like it's meant to be something decorative. Sometimes fingers are better than brushes. Yeah, I like to when I do a brush, it's like I either put too much or I don't get like right on the, if I just want something on the edge. Okay. Y'all, I've got this antiquing everywhere because I made my box. Y'all gonna be so proud of me when y'all see my box. So I'm gonna show you the picture of it after we're finished of my table. And then, Chris, it'll probably take us all night and tomorrow to edit it. And then I'll put the video on there tomorrow. Because remember, tomorrow I'm not going to do a video because I did one Sunday. And I'll actually do one this Sunday too. But I'm going to have this video up tomorrow night to show how we did the table. All right, so let's see. Didn't think through my... not bringing a plate out here. I'm not used to having plates out here because y'all know I don't do glitter. Let's just move it out of the way, at least to the side. I don't want it getting in my hot glue. No. Okay. Whew. I was thinking I had messed up the recipe, y'all. Sprinkle. Thank you, Kay, for sprinkling that. That was mighty kind of you. And y'all, I don't know if y'all have become a member of Sin's Crafters and seen all the crafts that are coming up. I want to make them all. All right. Decoupage. And remember, I'm going to get the matte decoupage, not high gloss. Not to say you can't use high gloss, but I don't want any kind of shine on it. What you making, Kay? I am making a, it's kind of preserving memories. I'm going to put not only a recipe in here, it's just kind of like wall decoration for my kitchen, but it's a recipe in Chris's grandfather's handwriting. So not only do we get to preserve his handwriting, we get to preserve the recipe. Late getting on, like what I see so far. All right, Patty. I mean, I think it's a good project. It's really a good gift project too, because I mean, you don't have to do this. You could just get, some of those boards that we get from Walmart, just the little display boards for $3 or $4. Hold on. Oh, I think I just took a big mouthful of that cinnamon. You don't have to put it in here. I'm kind of making it all kind of extra and things, but you could just decoupage it on a cutting board, like stain a really cute little inexpensive cutting board. And then we'll try not to hit too much of my cinnamon. I think would be a great cutting board. Or if you have any kind of old cooking utensils, like a spoon or something that was handed down from a grandmother or something, old wooden spoon or something, and you don't like to use it because you don't want to, wear it out, like you could just, maybe glue it or just put a couple little dabs of something on it, and not only would you have her recipe, you could have some of her, like a cooking spoon that you just put up in your china cabinet because you don't want to use it because it was your grandmother's or something. I think that would be really, really cute too. I would love to have that. Like old cooking utensils from Chris's grandmother, but she, and I didn't know his grandaunt, who this recipe was his favorite. He died a few months before, he died in January of that year, 93, and we didn't start dating until like that fall. But I know this will be like a special gift to his daddy. Ooh, a little bit of cinnamon is getting on it right there. And it looks a little milky when you're doing this, but it will dry clear. Now, I wouldn't say put 800 layers of it on there, But, you know, just if you got a thin layer on it and it looks a little milky, I think I have a bubble under there. Just work it out if that happens. Yep, I got a little bubble. I think you can get here we go. Trying to be careful. Most of the time I just slap it on here, but I'm not wanting to get this cinnamon too much on the paper, and I think I am. I'm gonna have to go back and put the cinnamon back on the top. I mean, back on the hey, seeing late again, but so worth being late. Sorry, but have family from out of town in and was visiting with them. They are in Georgia from Nevada. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. You know, girl, you gotta be with your family. You can watch the replay later. I have my mom, so gonna frame them. Yes, I think this is a good thing to preserve stuff. We don't have any of my mom's utensils. They are... She broke most over my butt. Wooden spoon. I don't think my mom or my Lottie, they ever did that, but they like the fly swatter. Get this fly swatter after you. So that's what I had to worry about. Not spoons, but the fly swatter. Which I'm thinking y'all are probably gonna think that's hilarious the way they say it. Is there some other way you're supposed to say it, or people say a fly swatter? You know, you swat and kill flies with them. Most disgusting thing in the world when you really think about it, but I can't ever remember going into anybody's house when I was little that did not have one. Because, you know, the gnats of... They used to sit, she used to sit there and watch, and she'd have, I'm telling you, this fly swatter's gonna get you. If my Lottie was on here, she'd tell you. Such a sweet memory preserve. I think it is too. Chatterbox. Oh, the holes in the swatter. Yeah, they tear your behind up. Mother used switches and belts. Yes. All right, I am gonna do a little bit around the edges, but so far, and it's still a little wet. Now, it's not gonna dry shiny like that, but y'all, I mean, that's just the paper that it was on, so it almost looks like I, you know, aged the paper, but I didn't. Okay. I can't just put cinnamon on it and go crazy with it. I'm gonna really have to like dab it and be careful. I think I may let this dry and then go back and put a little bit around the edges. That would be the smart thing to do. All right, so we're gonna put this to the side and let it do a little bit of drying and figure out. I almost wanted to take my jute, and I got it out to do this, and do almost like a little quilting technique on here, just to give it some kind of pattern behind it, because you won't see a lot of it. But I just, you know, me extra. And look at y'all, 8:10. It's when you have some of your project already done. I'm just thinking like, almost give it like a little quilting pattern behind it. Just do, because see how curly it is? You know, just lay it down with my hot glue all over. And I can either paint it on it. I can actually do this effect with my glue gun, put a little paint on it, like it's a little textured behind it. I think it would be really cute if I had, and I'm not gonna do it, but if you had chicken wire behind it. A lot of people like chicken wire, and you could actually use the waste baskets from the Dollar Tree. They stretch and they're really easy to cut to do that. But I don't really have something that's that farmhouse chicken wire. It's extremely cute, but let's see. Mother used switch here, flip-flops. Yes. Oh, I like that. Yeah, me too. I think it turned out really, really cute. And like I said, the sides are just, you know, they're scuffed up. They're not perfect, but you just don't want it to be that shiny material if someone saw it from the side. But I just feel like I need a little bit around it. You know, leave the outside the way it is. But let's just see. While that's drying, we'll see. And I knew I would have plenty of time. That's why I was like, I'll try some kind of technique right here. And we'll start it. And if not, I can snatch it off. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of maybe put this like in the corner. And this is not going to make it really that much heavier, because it is so light. I mean, this right here doesn't even weigh a fourth of what that weighs. I mean, that right there is going to be the only thing that has any weight. And what I'm going to do is just put 2 loops right here on the back, because I think if I put something in the center, it may tend to rock, and I want it to, at least sit on the wall level. But yeah, I'm telling you, this is just super, super light. And so easy to do. Y'all saw it that night. I mean, the most time you spend is just figuring out how big you wanted your tree skirt to be. I'm just going to try to do like a little, almost like a quilt weave, like weave or stitch. Y'all know what I mean? When like you have those quilters that just have that. I'm sure it has some kind of fancy name. Y'all know how I am about terminology. I don't know any. Okay. Get them finger protectors. Girl, I know. I'm just sitting here thinking I would be probably done if I had them out. If Buffy comes back in here in a minute, I'll tell her to go look. I know exactly where they are. I say that, but that won't be as easy for her. Do y'all ever like tell your husbands or kids to go find something? And Chris does really good, but Buffy should be looking all over places I hadn't even told her to look. Chris used to do that, but now I think I know how detailed I need to be for him. I was watching, y'all always talk about y'all like Lizzie and Aaron. One of them had a shirt I was watching at work today that had Feel the Burn on it, and they had like a hot glue gun on it. And I was thinking, that is so totally a shirt that I need if I wore t-shirts. Husband can look right at it and still not see it. Chris used to do that to me, but I'm not going to complain, because probably in the past few years, I don't know if I know to be more detailed when I tell him to go find something, or has he seen something, and he'll like every night when I say, hey, can you go grab this? He'll bring it right to me. Now, if he does, he at least brings me the box if he doesn't know what I'm talking about was in it. Y'all, I'm kind of digging that. I would say do the entire thing, but, we're going to have mainly the center, so I'm really just kind of doing the edges. And you could cut this and do different pieces. It's just already kind of curly, and it's just kind of really helping me figure out where I want to put the stuff. I mean, helping me figure out where I can, do a little quilty stitchy type thingy. Quilty stitchy type thingy. Y'all like my terminology? Pretty cool, huh? In their shop. You trained him laugh out loud joke. It took a lot of years, if that's the way we want to go with it. And they're always, Buffy used to be amazed when I would tell her to go find, like she would come in and say, Mama, have you seen my so-and-so? And I would know exactly where it was, even if it was in some weird place. But I don't think it's any magic that mothers do. I think it's just the fact that we know when we're walking by something, when we know that it's not supposed to be there, it sticks in our brain. Like, so if she asked me, where's my, you know, orange coat, just something like that. I'd be like in the chair, and because I'm thinking that's not where it's supposed to be. That's the trick that mothers have. It's not like some mind game that we're just so much smarter than them. We just know it was somewhere it wasn't supposed to be, and we remember that. Because she'll walk back in and go, how do you do that? And I just want to look at her and go, there's no trick. It's just your coat wasn't supposed to be there. So us mothers tend to remember that. Seems to know where everything is, even when things are lost. Oh, well, that's good. I'll tell you, Chris, I don't know, like some people might not have this, but Chris is getting better with that with age. Like, I'll say sometimes now, you know, I can't find so-and-so. And he'll go, I think I might have saw it over here. And it'll be there. And I'm telling you, probably the first 10 years of our marriage, or maybe 15 or 20, that was not the case. Ow. Hey, Sin, Marie from Arizona. There was already somebody on here from Arizona, too. Hot glue a little pocket on your apron and keep them in there. My gosh, y'all. This is why I craft with y'all. No hot glue. I'm a hot gluing fool, too. I don't think I want hot glue something on this apron. Well, that is probably the best and worst thing about this glue gun is it gets hot. But you know how when you're hot gluing something and you have to like rush and get it down because you don't want the glue hard? Well, you can take your time with this because it gets so hot that it takes a minute for it to cool down. So you don't have to rush, but then it gets so hot you burn your fingers. You know, this is my precious. See, I can still put that down on the furthest piece that I did, and it, you know, took a little second. Hold on, I've got like a little place in my string where they must have connected two pieces. How long you've been married? Let's see. 24 years this past October. Well, he will 70 in March. Maybe that is why I think he knows where everything is. I don't know if that's a thing. You know, I always thought you forget stuff the older you got, you know, men and women. But it's, you know, it's like a wine. His memory's getting better with age. I heard that out. Bless your heart. Y'all are going to be so excited since we got a minute. We were doing so awesome on time. It's 8:19, which I did come on a few minutes early, but I was just sitting here all prepared. Look what I got. I was over there looking at some more ribbon because I was like, my little ribbon was just sad last night when I was trying to get different colors. And I said, I need to get, bless your heart, some eyes. And then, you know, I saw these little cheapy looking, you know, like just cheapy buttons, and they were hearts. And I was like, oh, I'll get those. And then all of a sudden I saw these, and they're like supposedly wood, and it says organic. So we got to get her some little eyeballs on here. And we'll keep these other ones for, Lord, they even got them on some good string on here. So let's see, we got her bow on this side. Bow, yeah, we'll put her eyes on this side. But I put these over here. I was like, y'all gonna be so excited. Let's see. Oh, that one came right off. I see you over here. The cat's over here laying in this moss. I think she's taking it over from her brother. I haven't seen him over here in a while, but she is loving it. She is bougie and classy and the best little assistant mascot we have. She's like Making memories. Making memories. Love it. Don't you love her? She don't have a mouth yet. Maybe we'll make something Easter her mouth. She needs a little bit of every holiday on her because now we got Christmas and Valentine's. I don't think we're going to put anything green on her because she got to stay bougie. But when we get to Easter, we'll put something on her that's really cool. But she is awesome. One day I'm going to make some kind of big arrangement and put her right in the center. Let me put her up. I hate to throw anything over here and the whole production fall again. Okay, hold on. Let me put this around and let's see. Bless her heart. I know Kathy. She's like the best little sister you could ever ask for. Love her to death. She is looking like a voodoo doll. She is. She's gotten us through a many project. Last night she got it. She kept telling me to stop messing with that heart last night, that I was going to make it her background if I didn't quit. And I bought some ribbon today that I thought the heart looks so really cute on my bathroom door, but I just, you know, y'all feel like we hadn't put a ribbon on something or some beads or something. It's just still missing something. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more. But if I make it really ugly, I won't let y'all see it, so y'all can't pick on me. Put a little tulle up, ballerina skirt on her. What you looking at? Oh, it's for our mascot over here. Let's see. We were just talking about how you were just, your memory was just spot on, Chris. He died laughing. I told him your memory's getting better with age. And I thought that was when his hearing is going. What? He went, what? His hearing is going. He's going to get that from him. He gets that from his mama and his daddy. That's the one thing Neely and Buffy is like, Mama, we sure hope we get your hearing. And I'm like, me too. And y'all, I am going to put a little whitewash on this. Because I figured, you know, if this has got whitewash on it, then we definitely need it on here. Okay. Now, we may need to add some more in different places. But, because I went around the outside, but I don't want, like, something to be missing over here. Listen to your heart. That's what she needs, so cute. She has brought a lot of laughter. She sure has. She brought, the first night, she brought some crying to me. But then she was special. All right. So, we still got a little bit more over there. But just looking from here, I feel like it's missing a little bit right there, but up top it's looking kind of good. But I'm gonna make that the bottom. But I'm still gonna add a little bit up there. Okay. I'm loving my little pan. I bet y'all didn't think when I started I was gonna really make that pan look like it was that old after it was brand new. And I liked how shiny it was. I just like the look, how it looked old. As far as like, you know, nowadays they either have some kind of black coating or copper coating on pans. And I mean, I end up ruining them all. I get stuff on them, then I throw them in the trash can. We're kind of hard on pots and pans here. It probably is not so much we're hard on them, we're just not good dishwashers. My husband, so did you say you were making a tree skirt? No. They were wanting to know if we'd make a skirt for Bless Your Heart. She's bought a lot of laughter. But no, this was okay, I see what you're saying now. This was a tree skirt, like a tree collar that looks like a barnyard door. And I made 4 sides, but it was a little too small. But what I was saying is you have to go back and watch the replay in December. If you want to know how I actually made the skirt. But no, we're just using one of the sides as like a plank of wood, sort of like our frame. All right, so let's see that now, if it's going to be where we want it. Okay, yes. Now, I'm going to put a little whitewash on this. And I'm going to grab my plaster, y'all. I'm not going to grab the white. I want something a little old. Because that's what I would have had on the side. I would not have put white on it. My husband, 78, he asked, where did I move flashlight? But right in front of him. Oh, never mind. Laugh out loud. No, it's okay. What are you going to use to secure the cinnamon? Oh, you're talking about on here? I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to put a little bit of just decoupage, because, it's glue. I just used the paint as glue so it would have a dark background. But, I could have painted it black, dried it, put a little glue on the black, and did the same thing. It's just, you can use your paint as a glue, too. But I'm letting it all dry, because if I don't, and I put cinnamon on the edge, and I hit it, it could get in front of this, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to let this dry more. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of glue with like a little bitty paintbrush, like one like this, decoupage. And then I'll just probably do it with my fingers. Y'all know how I like to paint and do all kind of stuff with my fingers. All right, so right now, I'm just going to real quick put a little whitewash on this jute twine, so it's just not so kind of perfect and new looking. I may even have to rub a little bit of antique in on it. We'll just have to play with it. But we want it to look as it's probably not going to be quite as rustic as that is. But, we really could have done this with not so hot a glue gun. Did this with your glue gun and then paint, because chalk paint will paint glue, hot glue, really easy. Yeah, I'm probably going to rub a little bit of antiquing on it just to bring some of this darker wood in here. Hey, Cammie. I go looking for my glasses, can't find them because I have them on. Listen, Buffy was walking around here now. She's 23. Talking to her boyfriend, talking to somebody on the phone, and she was going, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. And they must have said, why, on the phone? She said, because I can't find my phone. She was talking on it. And I told her, I said, that's what old people do. I did that with my mom one day. I was leaving work, and it's when I used to read on my iPad. I didn't read on my phone. I had like a little tiny iPhone, and I got to the red light, and I was picking my mom up. We were going somewhere, and I said, gosh, Mama, I got to go back to work. And she was like, why? And I said, because I forgot my phone. I could start thinking in my head, do I have my iPad, my phone, all this, your work stuff. What are you leaving work with? And she even said, okay, because I was like, I'm going to be a few minutes late picking you up. And I busted out laughing because I got almost back to work before I realized that I had my phone in my hand. And so I called her back to say, I was like, Mama, I'm not going to be late. And she was like, oh, you found it? I was like, I was talking to you on it. So we both just died laughing. But yes, everybody does that with their glasses, I think. They'll have them on their head, especially your sunglasses. Where's my sunglasses? And they're on your head. or have your light on your cell phone, looking for your cell phone, and you're using the light on it. We are two funny people. Me too. I don't, that on my phone. Hairspray will work on the cinnamon to make it stay. Dollar Tree hairspray. Oh man, I have to get me some hairspray. You know, I bought some of that spray adhesive and I used it one time. I think it's in there in my little glue caddy. All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna add just a little bit of that antiquing on here just to bring a little bit of the dark into the jute too. Because it took the light good, you know, where it's kind of more into it. There it is up there. And I'm gonna rub it with my finger. Oh, I still have it up here. Laugh out loud, my brother done that with his phone. I have my car keys in my hand while hunting for them. I'm telling you, I think we all do the craziest things, especially when you're hunting for something. I guess when you're talking on the phone, that's almost like making it go back to where it was. So, we'll just do it in spots. I'm gonna do it pretty heavy on there. Okay. I don't think that was doing a whole lot, but it gave it something. I was on my way to work one morning and had to go back home because I forgot to put my teeth in. Did you hear that? She said, I was on my way to work one morning and had to go back home because I forgot to put my teeth in. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Oh my God. What about putting the antique around the edges instead of the cinnamon? Oh, you're saying like on the pan? Yes, of course. I'm not gonna put cinnamon on the board. But yes, you definitely could. I was just trying to make this, you know, I wanted it to definitely look like metal, but yeah, I think you could have put just antiquing around it, because you see where we put a little bit here to dull down the silver. Yeah, definitely. But y'all, it smells really good. All right. How awesome are we getting finished on time? Let's see. Ooh, 8:34. Okay. Buffy's still laughing about your teeth.
No, I'm laughing because Dad came over here, these chicken wings, and just ate a flat.
Okay, now this is cold, so I'm gonna have to hurry. Let me stand up. Okay. So does it look like kind of like a shutter? I love it. I mean, I guess you could, like, on the other project that I got for Mimi, that's like a Valentine's Day thing. I mean, I guess you could, like, even put you, like, maybe stain it and put you a spoon on it or something for your kitchen, but I'm going to leave it just like it is. I like it that way. But you know us, you can put your little messy bow on or something like that. But this is kind of going to go that I want to keep in there for a long time. And like I said, I'm going to just put 2 pipe cleaners on the back because it's so, but I'm going to put one on each side because I don't want it to rock. But looks great. Thank you. That is so cute. Love it. All right. And look at us getting finished on time tonight. And I like this color. But listen, you don't always have to put the color in it. You could just maybe do this a little bit white. You know, man, that's just kind of my new color for right now that I like. And I'm not really a color person. But it just kind of breaks it up too. If you put white, I think it would still look great. But, you know, something that'll make this stand out. And if it's a white piece of paper, see this actually copied because this is the way the page in the recipe book has gotten. But if you had like something that you made a copy and it's really real white, I would not use white, or use a lot of the cinnamon, or a lot of, you know, leave it silver, just something where you can see the page really good. Let me see, y'all, somebody just put something really long on here and I missed it. Love your idea to preserve it. I have my grandmother's recipe for German chocolate pound cake and her handwriting. I laminated it to keep it from fading. It was my brother's favorite, so she made it often. I am almost 73, so it is old. Yes, well, I mean, Chris's parents are 70. They'll be 74 this year. So they're 73 also, and this is his dad's. So, yeah, I understand. This is pretty old. Love it. Poster board with the tubes in it. Not sure what it's called. I know what you're talking about. Signs, like political signs and stuff are made out of. You probably could use that, too. The only thing is you would have to use, like, some kind of glue that you couldn't heat it up because it would melt, because it actually is made out of plastic. I don't know what it's called, though. We have someone in our church that he does signs, and he's done stuff for our youth before, and it's made out of that, what you're talking about. Good night. Love the DIY. You too. Looks great. Add a spoon with blueberries on it. Yes. I mean, because it's got blueberries in it. See, y'all are so awesome. I'm going to let Buff see it too, because Buffy is the one that loves the transparent pie, and see if there's anything she thinks we could corrugated poster board. But it's like plastic, right? Like, I don't think you could put any heat on it. It's like has stickers. You could put stickers on it. Probably could paint it, like, you know, definitely would like put like a primer or something on it and paint it, or chalk paint pretty much sticks to everything. But I wanted to show you this earlier before we started. Look at these little. They had them at the Dollar Tree, y'all, and I mean, they feel really cute. They're like really like clay pottery, terracotta stuff, and it has like this glaze on them, and you can put them in your flowers. But, you know, we were all on mushrooms last night, and I don't know if you read my post, but Neely said in Athens, Georgia, they have those mushrooms everywhere. She had a fungus class because she's a biology major. And that was one thing she had to do, is go collect funguses. And she said those mushrooms were everywhere because it was part of her project. She said they have them in, you know, towards the end of March. And so she's in Athens. So she said, Mama, I'll get you some. So I'll be able to try those mushrooms that y'all are all talking about. I own a vinyl company. Oh, okay, Lynn. Yes. I mean, and that's what they, you know, different signs and stuff. What is the name of the recipe? It's called Transparent Pie. It is a pie. I'd never heard of it until Mimi made it. So I don't know if it's like maybe a type of pie that was a long time ago was really popular, or just maybe she is from the north. She grew up in Montclair, New Jersey. But no, it says on here that this was a man thing. She was a Gray growing up, but they grew up in either Ohio, the Mans, or Iowa. I think Iowa is where the Mans are from. And it says on here, Nana Mans recipe, Fred's most favorite dessert, because that's in Mimi's handwriting, and then this is in his grandaunt's handwriting. And the Manns are from Iowa, the same place the American Pickers are from. So I don't know if like transparent pie is like a northern thing. Like I said, but you know, I don't always know, you know, if it was a southern thing and they just came pop here. I don't really know. Or maybe it's like, could be like a German or some other kind of, I don't know, half or get enough for all of us to eat.
Transparent pie, that is full-blown American.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'd never heard of it for Mimi, so I don't know, with it being like the Mann's it says Nana Mann's recipe. So I don't know if it's like maybe, you know, like spirea.
Nana's parents were from Ireland.
Is like an old shrub that's becoming popular again. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a type of old pie or maybe just, I know they didn't make it up. They got the recipe from somebody. Oh, tell her she can become rich if she picks them and sells them. Okay, I'll tell her. She said there were in like a lot of swampy areas or near the water. They have like a river or something that runs through there. And she said, we were talking about, she actually saw what I posted last night. So she texted me really late. She said, Mommy, you know I can get you some of these. And I'm like, where? But I'll tell her that if she wants to make some money to get a whole bunch of them. I ordered my styrofoam cutters last week. It's on back order. Oh my gosh, Judy, and I just was back in the back of Walmart because I needed a light color, you know, a light green, and I looked over and they had dozens of them here. So I wish I would know you ordered. I'd have got it and you could just Venmo'd me and I'd have mailed it to you. Would look good with burlap ribbon, yes. I think it is old Kentucky transparent pie. Probably, like I said, I know it's not like something they made up, but it is an old recipe. I was in third tree, asked lady about blocks real small. She said, seen them in Dollar Tree. I say, what? You get them in yours? No, I think the little tiny blocks we had one time, and I haven't seen them again. Transparent pie originated in Kentucky. All right. Was Kentucky near Iowa on the map? But yeah, evidently it's like one of their favorites, and I've had it, and it is really, really good. But I mean, but Buffy, it is her favorite. She asked her, Mimi, you know, she makes a really good angel food cake, and now that's Big Chris's favorite. Custard is my Chris's favorite, so I probably need to find her angel food cake recipe too. But y'all, you know, I think it may be dry enough for me to put a little bit of this glue on the edges. What is the recipe, Chris? It is transparent pie. But they're saying that it originated in Kentucky, so I guess maybe if you look up Kentucky transparent pie. We made it one time with her, and we doubled the butter or something, and she was like, oh, so once it started baking, the butter started bubbling all over it. So it was a joke that is the second time that she has, when she's given somebody the recipe, that she has messed up giving them the recipe. So we tell her all the time that we know she just doesn't want to give anybody the recipe, picking on her. And she says, no, I do want to give it to you, but she don't understand we just picking on her. Can you take a picture of the recipe and post it? I sure can. What I can do is, like, since I put this over here, I'm scared I mean, you can still see it and all that, but maybe a picture wouldn't do it. I can make another copy of it tomorrow, and where it's flat, and I'll see it. I'll take a picture of it, and if you can't tell the recipe, then let me know, and I'll put it on there. See, a good way to do this. That's not too bad. I don't know if I'm gonna want to do that around the whole edges. Let me see what antiquing will look like on the edges, and that way, because paper really wouldn't rust, right? The more I think about it logically. Not sure, but I think that pie came from way back during the Depression. Well, she says she lives through the Depression all the time. You had lived through the Depression. Nope, that's the new one. Here it is over here. I don't know what to do, y'all. We didn't finish so early. We sitting here chit-chatting. What? That's what I was saying. Okay, Kim, I'm sorry. I thought you meant on the edges of the pan if you didn't use that. Yes, this is much better. And then that way it's so tedious. I can just do the parts that are, you know, white from me tearing the paper. But get it off of it. Like if you don't want that much on your and a lot faster. Yes. Okay. So now I don't have any white around the edges. Oh, I love it. Almost looks like I've got like the Declaration of Independence on here. Oh gosh, much better. Yes. It's styrofoam like use flower arrangements. Okay. Come from way back. Looks great. All right. Thank y'all so much. And like you said, y'all said a burlap bow. I may try that. And maybe instead of, the only thing is I would have to put it up so high, like if I did like a little hook. But maybe I could just put a burlap, like mesh kind of burlap and a little bit. I've got some burlap, some mesh that is like burlap, and put that a little on the top just to give it something up here. But I want to make it something that I can keep on the wall all the time. But, you know, once I get it up on the wall and where it is, I may say, oh, it looked better with this. So I'll play with it. And, but thank y'all so much for hanging with me. And I didn't take up too much of your night tonight. And I won't be on here live tomorrow, but I'm going to, right after this, I'm going to post a picture of my table. And then I'm going to, tomorrow, once we edit the video of how we made the long box for the table and everything, because it's real wood, y'all, that's going to be my program for tomorrow. And that would look great on a mason jar cutout. That would look great on a mason jar cutout. What's a mason jar? Oh, I know what you mean. A mason jar, like wood cutout mason jar. And I have one. Maybe I can do Mimi's like that, because I'm not kidding you. That Bubby was laughing when I told y'all that. That's what her daddy would do. When we first got married, gosh, from him getting in the car and going to work, you know how it's like cold in the morning and then gets hot in the afternoon, I would go out to his truck every now and then, and he'd have like all kind of sweatshirts, coats, and so I would clean his truck out, and I would find these mason jars, like, you know, like looked like a mayonnaise type jar, and you could see they had like a film in them. They were old. The caps were back on them. So, you know, I would just throw them in the trash can. I didn't know what they were. So one day we're at like a family function, and she would definitely always making one like when it's his birthday or something. I mean, y'all, these big jars. And she brought it in, and she said, "Oh, here's just custard." She goes, "I hate it with these raw eggs in it. You eating it, Trish drinking it." And so I looked at him. I said, "Is that why I keep finding all those jars in your truck?" He goes, "So he would just drink it like on the way home. Like she'd give it to him, and it would just never even make it home." And I'm like, "I don't want it. I mean, it's good, but not like that. It's not my thing. You know, I'd rather have like a piece of cheesecake as my dessert." Well, then the girls got older, and one day we were, you know, at his parents' for somebody's birthday, and we were eating supper, and he put like a little bit of custard in there for them to taste it. Oh, and they loved it. So it was on then, you know, like every time he'd bring it home, he'd hide it in the back of the refrigerator, and they'd find it and drink it all. And his daddy loves it too. And so when Chris was born and loved it, and he's the first grandbaby, not only the first grandbaby on both sides, he was born on Mimi and he had the same birthday. April the 11th is both their birthdays. So you can imagine he is her probably precious little brat still. So, you know, once he learned that he loved the custard, his daddy just got cut out of the mix, and Chris gets it. So I told him it was only fitting that now the girls liked it. He just needed to give it all to them, because if she made it, it would be in a huge jar, and then she'd have enough to do a little tiny jar. Well, his daddy got designated the little tiny jar, and my Chris got the big jar. So that's when she would hand it to him. I would say, "Here, this little jar is yours. She's made this for Neely and Buffy." And he'd go, "No, it doesn't work like that." But, you know, now he does take care of her, and he's the only grandson that lives here. So he does everything for her. And I told him, I said, "Well, you know, you always said you were her favorite. So you're just," but really, that's your mom's? Hold on. Somebody else's birthday. Is it heated? I think she does heat it a little bit, but by the time she gives it to him, it's cold. Tea glass or mason jar? I'm talking about mason jar. Moonshine jar. I'm talking about it's a huge jar. Not like a regular just, I'm going to can a little bit of preserves. No, this is like I've emptied out the biggest Duke's mayonnaise thing I can get and put it. One time she made it in one of those like big pickle things. Like you get like the huge pickle jars in it. When she thought he had to start sharing it, but she really can't make it anymore. I mean, I think right now if you said, "I want some," she would try, but her memory is slipping a little bit, so we haven't even said anything about it. But we love it, and it is really good, but nothing like my husband. He still would do anything if she was able to make it, but he knows she can't. Great-grand's birthday. Yes, April the 11th. He would, like I said, he was the oldest grandbaby on both sides, and he was born on his Mimi's birthday. So, you know he's spoiled rotten. And he'd tell her, in front of all his cousins, he would always say, "Mimi, I know I'm your favorite." I mean, I was like, "Hush." And she'd go, "Hush." And I think behind all of us back, she'd go, "You know you're my favorite." Where are you from? I love your accent. Linda, I am from Georgia. About 20 minutes south of Augusta, Georgia, where they have the Masters. Half-gallon jar, yes. And he would drink it all. Can you imagine? He would drink it in the car before he got home. I mean, at the time we got married, we probably lived maybe about 15 minutes out of town, something like that. But yeah, he would just drink it, put the lid on. And I'm thinking at the time, the only person he could have been hiding it from is me, and I didn't want any. I'm just not on drink of, I mean, it's good, but you know, I mean, I guess just to him, it's like the best thing in the world. But like cheesecake's my favorite. Now that's what I'm going to hide in the refrigerator from everybody. But, yeah, it makes all the yolks. Like you take all the yolks and you make custard with that. And so you take all the whites, and she makes a really good angel food cake, which I'm not a big fan of angel food cake. And neither is my Chris. But his daddy loves the angel food cake. So I think that was kind of the trade-off. His daddy would get all the angel food cake, and my husband would get all the custard. Hey, my grandchildren call me Mimi too. Yes, I love that. I want to be called a Nana, but I think what is always cute is you have something that you want to be called, and then like your first grandbaby can't say it, and then it sounds all kind of weird. Like Mimi's husband, who has passed away, is Chris's Grand Ann. I don't know how it started, if he wanted to be called Granddaddy or how it started, but he called him Grand Ann. He would say, my Grannan loved that. He calls sliced cheese that you take out of the wrapper Grannan cheese because his granddaddy used to just eat a slice of cheese all the time. And then his Mimi's a Mimi. His grandmama was a grandma, and then his other grandfather was Paw. My mother didn't want to be a granny. She wanted to be a grandmother. And my oldest niece could not say grandmother, so she called her Now Mama. And they still call her Now Mama to this day. Some of them call her Me Mama. I'm a Mimi also. Yes. And a lot of people these days are doing their first name doubled. Like I would be like a CC or BB for somebody that has a name that, or, you know, just something like that, that I think is really cute. But I think if I tell mine I wanted to be a Nana, they can't say it, and they come up with the cutest little name. So I wouldn't mind being a CC. That would be cute. But that's me. I'm grandma. I'm at the point now where I told Chris we probably never gonna have any grandchildren because my kids they don't care anything about any of that. And they don't say right now. They just say never. So I'm like, really, never? I'm like, you know, please, somebody have one. Just let us have it. I'll take care of it. I'm a Graham. Oh, his mom was Mama Mert. He was Daddy Jack. Yeah, I think all the, when kids mispronounce the names and they become something like weird, it's really cute. Like, I love Buff. Her daddy and her sister still call her Buff. Because Neely couldn't say Elizabeth, and we didn't want it shortened. So she'd call her Buff, and then it's just Buff. I love that kind of stuff. Like nicknames that somebody couldn't say, it turned into that. I love being a Grams. That will end up have one somebody. Yeah, I'm like, come on. I mean, and I don't want to share. Remember, we already had this talk. I don't want to share either. I'm hoping like the other grandmama lives like way far away or something. I'm like, I don't want to share. I'm not a really good sharer. I'm like, come to Nana's house. We'll finger paint. It's just the cool house. Nana never says no. All right, I'll let y'all go so I can go eat my supper. But I'll have that video ready for you tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and share the picture of the final product right after I get off. All right, thanks so much. Y'all have a good night.